Hey everyone, welcome back to the Poplar Report. We're going to be covering reports coming from you guys from around the country and around the world. We're going to be seeing what you guys are seeing store-wise, empty shelves-wise, and also what's going on with production. We start in south central Mississippi. Cecilia is sharing, I'm a friend to a small commercial farmer in south central Mississippi. It appears the hard freeze may have killed all of his crops. There has been some harsh weather out there, and especially people in the deep south, not used to those cold temperatures, has impacted some of the agriculture out there. Let us know if you're hearing more about that in your area where you are. Lisa in Athens, Alabama. I had to purchase a family-sized bag of GV pretzels around 24th of March 2023, but the expiration date is for 17 June 2023, so just a couple months out. I fed them to my goats, but they didn't want to eat them. Normally they eat anything. Eggs here are just over $2 a dozen. Gas is just over $3 a gallon. I wish gas around Pennsylvania was down to $3 a gallon-ish. Yeah, it's amazing what kind of stuff goes into a lot of this processed food that we eat that even the animals don't really want, We should be paying more attention to what's actually in the products that we're eating and such. Obviously, right now, you got to be paying way more attention to the ingredients in your products. If you have any sort of allergies, particularly to shellfish, because they're trying to sneak in crickets into all sorts of stuff. I just saw a comment the other day, just like, why is everyone so worked up over crickets getting slipped into food? And the answer is, well, if you have a shellfish allergy, you're allergic usually to cricket shells as well. And unfortunately, they don't even have to advise you that they've put the crickets in there with any sort of allergy warning. If you put shellfish into something, you have to put a warning on it. But if you put crickets in, they're allowing that to just go right in. And that can be a serious health issue for a lot of people. Parrot Africa says, prices of beef are high in South Africa. Milk and cheese prices are extremely high due to the national shutdown last Monday in South Africa. So they had a big protest shutdown, and that has caused prices on everything to go up even more. It says, it's amazing, Eskom, which is the power company that covers most of South Africa. Eskom is, the power grid is suddenly stable now. It's amazing. They were being shut off for like 8 to 10 hours a day, and then suddenly it's stabilized. Now the weather has moderated, and that may be partially the reason why the power grid has stabilized. It's just because there's less demand on it. But hopefully they can get things fixed, because they got a lot of power units that are down. There's been people striking. There's been as they've been running all their generators at capacity without maintenance, that has caused more maintenance issues to build up, and then catastrophic failures, which now you're not repairing, but you're having to replace components. That's kind of a situation where we've seen happening in South Africa, but it's good to hear that the power grid has seemingly stabilized, at least with the demand that's placed on it right now. South Africa is a perfect case study for how a country collapses due to all these liberal policies being put into place. All the green energy, all the labor policies, all the race relations stuff, all that stuff coming to a head in South Africa. They are years, hopefully, or maybe super hopefully, decade ahead of the United States and other countries like that. But then again, they may only be months ahead of us. We'll see. Kathy says, I've seen shortage on Walmart shelves in Olney, Illinois. The empty shelves I saw were canned vegetables like corn, green beans, and beef. So like the meat section. Observationalist Dave says, in Maryland, a friend of mine begun brooding and hatching chicks on a small scale to sell. She charged $5 for the first round, and one person bought all 20 that she hatched. The next batch, she charged $8 each for week-old chicks, not pullets, and sold 40 in a day. People are panicking over this food situation, and rightly so, folks. You just saw that shot across the bow with the whole egg situation. We saw how dependent we were on the system and saw how unreliable the system can become. They are there to make money. They are not there to provide you with the things you need. And you need to understand that. These businesses don't have a relationship with you other than they want to take your money. And when it becomes more profitable for them to not give you the things you need than it is for them to go out of their way to get those things for you, what do you think is going to happen? You need to be prepared to take care of you because you are responsible for you. Walmart isn't. Aldi isn't. None of these grocery stores are responsible for feeding you. You are responsible for feeding you. You're responsible for feeding your family. Rant complete. Right? Before we get into the rest of these, make sure you do keep sending in your reports of what you're seeing empty shelf wise. This is really helpful for a lot of people. If you find these useful, let us know what you're seeing in your area. You can just type the word update in any one of the comments down below of any video and just let us know what you're missing on the store shelves in your area and some sort of geographical area of where you are. Okay, moving on. Rose C says, North Texas Kroger store eggs were $2.59 a dozen last Friday. Cage-free, they were $3.29. The prices are greatly decreased from previous months. So we're seeing that kind of all over the place. Prices on eggs are down significantly. Kroger Simple Truth toothpaste has been $2.79 for many months, and I bought several. However, the price has now jumped to $4.19. $2.79 to $4.19, a $1.40 increase. We're seeing that all over the place. If it doesn't go bad, it's probably a good idea to stock up on whatever it is. The says, 3 closest Walmarts near airport in Northern Virginia have no facial tissue of any kind. Bathroom tissue, yes. Facial tissue, no. If you need tissues, if you like tissues, get your tissues when you get the opportunity, okay, folks? Because people are not finding them when they need them. So if you're going to wait until you get sick or wait until one of your family members gets sick to go out and get some tissues, don't be surprised if you can't find them. Do that now before you're sick if you like that kind of stuff. If you're like me and I just use paper towels because they're more absorbent and I don't really have a sensitive nose, then you're fine, right? Just make sure you have enough paper towels. But if you need the facial tissues. Amy says, we lost PG&E, that's the power company over in California, at 4:12 p.m. Tuesday in Berkeley, California. I have a gas stove so I can cook some food, but we'll lose a lot of food because of the electricity, right? Friends, if the power goes out, I mean, all of you can kind of repeat this along with me, right? Don't open up your fridge, right? Leave your fridge and freezer closed. Don't open the door. Tape it shut. And, it will keep well for 6 to 8 hours. After that, you better put some power back up on it, okay? If it goes past the 6 to 8 hours, usually, I'm giving you a rough estimate, you're going to need to do, either cook that food soon, and you got to be careful about putting it back in. Or you need to get that back down to temperature, one way or another. But that's the biggest thing. People just, power goes out and they start opening up the fridge. It's like, stop doing that. Don't do that. All that cold air is in there. Leave the cold air in there. You don't necessarily need to throw out your food. It's just, think of it, you taking it out and putting it on the counter, right? A lot of that stuff, it's okay to do that for a while. And don't take all the stuff that doesn't need to be in the refrigerator out, because they hold cold. The more mass you have in there that's cold will absorb more of the heat, and so it should be good for longer. That's why a lot of people put like bags of ice, or they can even put water and stuff like that in the fridge or freezers, just to give more mass in there to keep it cold longer. Another one from Kathy. I was at my Walmart in Olney, Illinois today. Prices on food are very expensive, and people not having enough money or SNAP benefits. Madam K in Northeast Wisconsin gives us this update. I went to the local grocery store, 8 end caps empty. No instant potatoes. Salad dressings and condiments are bare. Only 1 to 3 bottles of each on half the aisle. Canned meats were full? ? The meat case was full. No bacon. Deli case has lots of empty space. Bread was full. Dairy aisle had eggs, $1.99 a dozen. Not many canned biscuits or cookies left. It has been 2 weeks since I shopped in the store, and is now on third empty. You never know what's going to happen. I don't know if that's weather related. That sounds like worse than what I'm hearing from anyone else. So I don't know. It sounds like it might be more of a local issue, but you don't know when a local issue is going to happen to any of us, right? When tornadoes are going to go through. Do you have things stocked up? And if your house gets hit, do you have a little bit stocked up, or friends that will be able to take you in? Joe says, unable to find buttermilk in our local grocery store for several weeks. Walmart and several other stores did not have any either. My wife substituted it with making some from a recipe online. Worked fairly well. My wife likes to use it in some of her baking recipes. Now, we don't have a location on that, but is anyone else seeing any issues with buttermilk out there? All right, folks, that's what we got for you. Please do keep your reports coming in. You can email them directly to me at poplarpreparedness@gmail.com, or just type up a comment in any video and just use the word update in there so we can search for it, and you will find and let us know some sort of geographical location. If you found this video to be useful or helpful, you might want to check out another video from me right over here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.